What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is the 24th of April, right around 8 a.m. on the East Coast, taking a look at the micro E-mini S&P 500 index futures, the June 23s. Micro E-mini contracts are the smaller contracts to the full-size E-mini S&P /MES compared to the ES. So we're taking a look here as the markets took a bit of a pause off of this really nice rally from 3830-ish up to where it's at now, which is 4150. So about an 8% or so move higher. As the market approaches this previous supply area up in here, we saw the price take a bit of a breather. We had the date here, which was the 18th of April. This candle really gave us a good indication that these markets are going to pause for a little bit. We saw this over in the crypto markets as well as here in some of the futures markets. Basically a candle that closes in the center of its range. So I like to call that an indecision candle, a pausing candle. So that is that. We still remain long the micro E-mini S&P 500 futures. We have been long them for a while, and it's been one of those patience play. Market hasn't moved up too much from our original entry, but it also hasn't moved down too much. So we still remain long, having patience here. We have a relatively tight stop right now from where the price is currently at, which is, according to this data here, which might be slightly delayed, 41.53, but the markets are open, of course. They opened last night, Sunday evening, 6 p.m. on the East Coast futures markets. So we are patiently waiting here, and we'll see what happens. So we have stops in place. So if the market does roll over to the downside, that's fine. We'll be stopped out. We have a tight stop, like I said, and if the patience pays off here for this trade anyways, we'll get a nice break to the upside. And if that takes place, it could be a strong break. It'll probably give us a higher high, at least a recent high above our high here of the 18th of April. And then depending on, how strong that goes or whatever, if we take out this high over here, which would be the 2nd of February, that could be a big move. Might not happen in a day, might take a day or two, but we'll see. It could be a very strong breakout. The market has been finding lots of resistance, a lot of supply up here in this 42 or so 100 range. So we'll have to see what happens. Patience is a big part of trading, at least in my opinion. So there's a reason why you take a trade, and until that reason is no longer there, we like to stay in the trade. So having stops in place helps that take place. So you enter a trade at X price for X reason, and you put your stop in, and unless that stop is hit, at least in our opinion, there's no reason to exit the trade. That reason is still valid. If it gets stopped out, well, then that's your protection, and that reason is no longer valid. So that is just a quick opinion there, not financial advice, guys. So that reason is still there for us, and if we got stopped out, that's fine. We just reevaluate, take the next trade. So right now, like I said, 41.53, give or take, is where the S&Ps are trading at this morning, right around 8 a.m. on the 24th of April. We'll see what happens today. Markets were down a little bit more than they currently are overnight, and we're seeing a little bit of a recovery here this morning. So Bitcoin, on the other hand, over in the crypto markets, is actually looking like it wants to get weaker and head lower. So we actually were stopped out of our micro Bitcoin futures trade. And the same thing applies over there. We'll just reevaluate and we'll enter once again when it shows strength. But right now it's showing more weakness than strength. So we're also waiting to buy the Russell E-mini 2000 futures. Those are lagging this market and have not showed as much strength as some of these other indexes, the S&Ps, the Dow, and the NASDAQ. So let me know your thoughts on the futures markets, the stock market, anything you'd like, crypto markets. But, we'll see if patience or play off here, and we'll get another higher high here for the market. So far, we have a nice run up here of higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher high, so far a higher low. There's always a chance that we roll over here. Let me get the correct tool. And we create a, lower high and then a lower low, getting that change in trend to the downside. But so far, we're still in an uptrend. We're in that tipping point where we're either going to create another higher high to the upside, which is what we're hoping for because we're long this trade. But if not, and we create a lower high and a lower low, we'll be stopped out of this trade. And like I said, that's fine. We have the trade set up, our risk to reward, and always having enough capital left, of course, to take the next trade, because the next trade could be the winner. So don't want to, if you lose all your money in one trade, then it's much harder to get that capital back and make another trade. So your risk should be appropriate for your account size, your strategy, and so on. So guys, it's my thoughts on the E-mini S&Ps. Looking for that higher break. See if we get it or not. We're at a critical area here. We'll see if it's time ready, if the time is finally ready for the markets to get past this 4,200 area and continue its uptrend. It's been trending sideways for a long time here. Good for the options traders selling stuff above or below the market. Those market neutral strategies have worked well so far this year. There's also been some great scalping for those scalping the futures markets. All right, guys. Once again, this is the E-mini Micro S&P 500 futures, the Junes. We are long. We have a tight stop just in case this thing gets ugly. And if it heads higher, we'll do just fine. All right, guys. Take it easy.